Mick Jagger helped to form the Rolling Stones back in 1962, and already in the following years, they became one of the most successful bands in the world. Part of the music business for more than 6 decades, the musician had the chance to see many incredible bands appearing and rising to fame. One of them was Led Zeppelin, which had as the guitarist and producer Jimmy Page, someone who Jagger already knew for a few years. But what is Jagger's opinion on Led Zeppelin and Jimmy Page? Before joining the Yardbirds, Jimmy Page was a really respected session guitarist in London and had the chance to play on many famous records of several artists in the 60s. In 1966, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards wrote the song Out of Time, giving it to Chris Farlow to record. It was Jagger who produced that single, and Jimmy Page was the session guitarist on that song. So that was when Jagger first met the future Led Zeppelin guitarist. He recalled that in an interview with BBC Radio 2 in 2020. Also gave his opinion on the band and the guitarist. The thing was, I knew Jimmy Page very, very early on, going back 10 years before that. You know, makes you feel very young. I used to produce records. I did this record Out of Time for Chris Farlow, which it was a very successful record in the early 60s, song which Keith Richards and I wrote. I used to be a producer. It was fun for me. I was sort learning the trades, sort to speak, and it was all played live, of course. One of the backing musicians was Jimmy Page. He was one of the best session guitarists at the time. He was very young. There was another one called Jim Sullivan, and they used to play chess in between takes. That was their thing. So that's how I met Jimmy, and that's how I met John Paul Jones, because he was the bass player, like in 1965 maybe. Then, 10 years later, or a bit less, they've made this very successful kind of band. I used to go and watch them live. I remember watching their concerts live in New York and everything. So, I mean, it was great. Thunderous, wonderful, racket, brilliant. I saw their last concerts as well, and they were absolutely incredible. I was so disappointed that they didn't actually go out and toured. But that's their business, not mine, Mick Jagger said.